Alright, welcome back to A Journey to King's Cross, a Harry Potter book podcast. We just finished up with Chapter 4, The Leaky Cauldron. I do apologize for the slight delay in a new episode and everything. I'm entirely going to throw my friend under the bus here.
Life happened.
Yeah,
Life happened a lot.
Yeah.
I'm on third shift and they want to record this during the day.
I mean, it's 8 o'clock. I'd say we're solidly in the nighttime era, I believe. Personal opinion, anyway. But after that, she also got sick, so her voices might sound a little bit rougher, and she's probably not going to be talking as much. Case in point.
You might get some of that.
We do apologize for their interference.
Well, to be perfectly honest, we don't exactly have this place soundproofed, so we're not exactly going to be completely clear in terms of any background noise to begin with.
But we do our best.
We try. Anyway, we get the nice little period of time where Harry gets to run around dying on
Whoa. Chapter art?
Chapter art.
Quiet, you're sick.
Bah.
It's basically just the cage with the Monster Book of Monsters in it. It's pretty well done, all things considered, and actually seeing what looks like arms and claws coming out of them seems a little wild considering the movie design, but, gets the point across.
It's also furry in the movie, and it's not furry in the... It's made out of leather.
Yeah. I honestly think I prefer the movie rendition of it more than the actual book description.
Yeah, because the book description, if I remember correctly, sounds terrifying.
A little bit. I like the fluffy version.
I mean, they're both a menace, regardless, but still.
Look, all you gotta do is pet it.
No, you gotta stroke the spine.
Yeah,
or you can do what Harry did, drop a shoe, wait for it to chomp on it, and then pounce.
I felt kind of bad for it, to be honest. I was like, this is a mean thing to do to your book.
I mean, the book tried to bite him, so,
No.
understandable.
He bamboozled that book. Alright?
Bamboozling is okay.
As a vet tech, when a dog is trying to bite me and I need to muzzle it and it does not want the muzzle, I will bamboozle it.
You always
bamboozle. Do you jump on its head in order to do so?
See, that's not allowed. That's from...
That's what I thought.
Hey, what if you had to fucking be a vet to a T-Rex? You might have to jump on its head.
Yeah, well, it ain't gonna hurt the T-Rex if I jump on its head.
Well, then, it didn't hurt the book.
Yes, it did. It whimpered.
Did it?
It probably bit its tongue. It's fine.
It's fine.
Oh, jeez. Why is it I'm the person who's actually most sympathetic instead of the person who actually works in the medical field?
Because it's a book.
Because I've seen shit.
Yeah, well, what's that got to do with how you treat a book?
We know some things, because we've seen some things.
Anyway, we finally start moving forward through, Harry talking about, how it's wild having his freedom and everything. And
My
basically
thought on that was, what do you call the breaks at Hogwarts where you stayed there, didn't go home, and your weekends?
But you were stuck in the castle.
Yeah, you were kind of...
But he made a comment specifically about, I get to sleep in.
You can't sleep... Oh, yeah, during school breaks.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he didn't get to sleep in during that time period, to be honest.
Dude was fighting for his life, man.
To be fair, most of the time, beginning of the year, it's probably alright, but towards the back half, I'm pretty confident, regularly stressed.
See, I thought it was, one of the points he makes is, he found it really easy to not go into the Muggle side, because, the Diagon Alley was so interesting, but also, Harry, you got spending money in Diagon Alley, you don't got shit in the Muggle world.
You even get 2 pennies to rub together in the Muggle world.
You guys keep saying that, but you do need to recall that the Granger has transferred money from Muggle money into actual... So, there is a transfer.
True, but,
so,
this is Harry we're talking about.
Is he going to be that smart? No.
We're only in book 3, and we're already bagging on my boy's intelligence. This is just mean.
Look, man, if there's a smart option and a dumb option...
Harry takes the dumb option.
Harry, most of the time, takes the dumb option.
Oh, hey, we think Snape's trying to steal the Sorcerer's Stone.
To be fair, they tried to get... They tried!
That's true. They did
No,
try.
They did. But when the initial thought came.
But also, all the
No.
times in book 2 when he could have talked to Dumbledore, and he didn't.
I don't even think they knew where Dumbledore's office was the entire first year.
Harry did. Harry learned where it was.
In his first year?
Sorry, not the first year. Yeah,
he learned it at the end of
he has an owl. He could have sent an owl.
I don't even know if that would work.
I'm sure
Sure it would. Hedwig's pretty smart.
As we found out in the last chapter, when she arrived just at the same time as Harry to the leaky cauldron.
I have to admit, though, it is kind of wild, though, that he's, like, eyeballing the firebolt and everything, and I'm just sort of like...
Boys got sense, though. Price of prime request? I don't want to ask. I
know. I don't want to empty my entire vault. I've got quite a few more years.
It obviously wasn't that expensive.
It's not a life or death situation, so he's got sense.
It's fair.
He doesn't have smarts, but he's got sense. Good to know. But I do find it kind of funny is that all the emphasis on him loving Quidditch, especially in the first parts of the series, and he never continues on with it.
Doesn't make sense that he became an Auror. He was definitely born to be a professional player.
Or a teacher. I would have accepted teacher.
Or teacher.
Yeah,
the things that he enjoys doing are not the things he ends up doing at the end of his life.
If you enjoy going to work, you have a career. If you dread going to work, that's a job. Okay? Rowling gave him a job, not a career.
It's terrible in a world where you have literally endless options to have a career. Also, he's fucking rich.
Yeah.
Twice over.
He doesn't need to work.
Dude inherits 2 fucking fortunes.
Yeah.
Not to mention, the Black family probably having one of the biggest fortunes around.
No doubt. So, to be fair, I can kind of respect the idea that he's just like, I'm not going to be like my dad. I'm going to go out and do something with my life rather than sit around doing jack
but
and
still
shit.
could have picked anything.
Yeah, could have picked anything. And then he doesn't even need to go to work as a full-time, okay? It could be part-time, because we've had this conversation. You said, I'm going to make it rich, you don't have to work. I'm like, no, I'll go crazy. I have to at least have a part-time job.
Yeah, my wife wouldn't exactly make a good...
I'm not a trophy wife.
Oh, I'd totally be a stay-at-home wife. But I also like to crochet, and I don't like to go out and do things very often.
You should become one with the... He'd show up and he'd start looking like the couch.
I don't look like the couch.
Slowly, the couch and me are becoming one.
Look, man, if you want your crochet Pokemon...
Oh, that'd definitely keep her occupied.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I have some... See, my thing is, like, if I was ever rich, I wouldn't do nothing. I have things I want to do that I don't have time for because I have to work.
I agree.
It's not, like, it's always funny when people are like, oh, I'd still work. I'm like, why? There's so many other things you could do to keep busy.
No, I said I'd work part-time.
Well, that's fair.
I just need something to get me out of the house. Because I know I'm a homebody and a hermit crab.
That's fair.
We had to explain.
But, like, I could take classes of, like, archery classes, or, like, a pottery class, or a cooking class.
Oh, I'm sure the local Oakland County University would freaking love you.
Probably. Anyway, back to Harry.
I do have to admit, though, when he's going through and collecting his stuff and everything, I love the little joke about the invisible book of invisibility.
Right, like, we got a whole, either they got scammed good, or those are really good books.
All I could think to myself is, how would you read it if it's invisible?
I think that's the scam.
Unless it was only the cover invisible and you open it and then, like, invisibility's done.
We do get a couple of minor mentions from some of the background characters. Seamus and Dean and Neville all pop up.
I was gonna say, also, Harry's a good kid. He does his homework.
He finally got everything done. Had probably the easiest time he ever had doing his actual his actual homework, since Florian Fortescue was basically giving him ice cream and helping him out with
giving him ice cream and
burnings.
giving him the answers.
Sounds amazing.
I'd take it. I'm very easily bribed with ice cream and cookies. I
Same.
do it.
I'm not ashamed of it.
I do find it kind of wild, though, that, like, you'd think with them knowing and everything, you think the Weasleys would have turned up to at least pay him a visit a little bit sooner. But the fact that Ron and Hermione both meet him basically in the last freaking day before the end of holiday.
Yeah. And the only thing I can think of is that maybe they didn't arrive back in London or country until, like right beforehand.
Oh, as a parent, that would stress me the hell out.
That would.
I would not be able to pull that off. Be like, all right.
Doing all your shopping the day before you go back to school.
I would
fuck that shit.
I mean, when it comes to being a wizard and everything and going to Hogwarts, you need the standard robes, you need the books. Like, it's not like this wouldn't take a day, but I could not imagine getting back home from a frickin' holiday and the next day.
I need a day to relax.
No, after that long holiday, I need a week.
Oh yeah, after coming back from a holiday, yeah. Plus, imagine all the sand.
Yeah.
Because it's coarse and it's rough and it gets everywhere.
It's everywhere!
Alright there, Anakin.
I was channeling my Bill Engvall impression, thank you.
I was referring to Kimmy, not you.
Oh, okay.
Now I need a Viking and a Bahama Mama.
I didn't kill
Half a Vicodin. And
No,
a Bahama Mama.
no, I need a full one, damn it.
No, the half of Vicodin and Bahama Mama, the sharks will be singing them super deep. And you'll see the sand everywhere.
You are pretty, but that's beside the point.
I think
You called me a shark?
I missed the joke here, I think.
It's a Bill Engvall skit. One of his jokes from, like, the early 2000s. Half a Vicodin and a Bahama Mama.
He starts sobering up when he's being glided around, seeing little sharks below him.
Nom nom nom.
Always fun. But, yeah, the fact, like, Rod, Harry, and Hermione all catching up and everything and talking about stuff. It is kind of amusing in the grand scheme of things that they're, like, you know, Ron's giving Hermione some crap over the course of this. You know, I gotta admit, I do appreciate Ron giving Hermione a little bit of guff. Why are you taking Muggle studies for? Well, it'd be interesting to see the. I get what Hermione's saying and everything. I made a mention of it. It's like, I feel like Muggle studies should be a requirement.
If you're not Muggle-born or half-blood, it should be a requirement. Counterpoint: the teacher should not be a full-blooded wizard.
Should either be Muggle-born, half-blood, or Muggle that's allowed in.
Yes.
Oh, God, that'd be interesting. I'm like. Because they do interact with the Muggle world. There's specific jobs inside of the Ministry that require you to interact with them.
Yeah, but most of the Muggles get expelled.
Well, not all of them. There is one particular Muggle.
The Prime Minister is not going to be going to Hogwarts to teach.
I was
studies.
referring to our American friend from the frickin' Fantastic Beasts.
Non-canon.
Rude. I kind of liked those movies. Not all of them in their entirety, but
yeah,
I did.
But they also had like McGonagall in it at an age that she should not have been.
Yeah, I feel like somebody just really wanted to have like
a McGonagall reference.
Yeah, they really wanted.
And
to be honest, they never actually did. They actually name her?
Yes.
Shit. Well, there goes that.
I think they said Minerva.
I mean, there could have been another teacher named Maverna. I mean, it's not exactly like it would be like entirely outside of.
You're stretching here, boy.
I'm trying at least. But yeah, I do like that Ron's just sort of was just like, I got 10 galleons. How about a nice book? Said Ron innocently. I don't think so. Like, it goes completely over Hermione's head.
Wait, what did?
Sorry. The book comment. Hermione said she had some extra spending money, basically.
Oh, right.
And so Ron was just sort of like, how about a nice book? She got like 3 bags of the damn things, and he's like, how about another one? And she was like, no, I'm going to get myself an owl. They're so useful and everything. Shows back up later with the freaking coolest cat ever. I'm be honest with you, I love Crookshanks. And I love the fan theory that it's actually the Potter's old cat. Like that it originally belonged to
Right. And that's
Lily.
how it immediately was friends with Sirius and hated Peter.
He's just like, I fucking know this. Something's screwy about this. Shows up, cats.
Yeah, it is really weird, because it wouldn't make sense that Crookshanks immediately goes after Scabbers on sight without having talked to Sirius at all.
To be honest, though, the cat was like part weasel, so it already recognizes the fact that something is off about this guy. You know what I mean? And the fact that Ron obviously is treating it like a pet, you'd be like, all right, something's funny about this. I'm gonna eat it.
I mean, we know that Sirius and Crookshanks were communicating to some degree, so I wouldn't be surprised if Crookshanks was, like, if Scabbers was laying there doing, like, whatever they're doing to him, and he's like, Sirius is gonna find me, Sirius is gonna find me, I'm gonna die, Sirius is gonna find me! He knows that I killed Harry, whatever bullshit. He's muttering to himself, and Crookshanks is just like, oh, murder! Let's get him!
Crookshanks seems like the type of pal I'd love to have. We're gonna go kill a freaking murderer. Sweet, sign me the hell up.
So Crookshanks is Dexter? Okay.
I'll take it. Go for it.
How many, if you murder a murderer, there's still the same number of murderers in the world.
So I'll kill
Not if I murder a bunch of them! Look,
Look,
man, not saying that I condone murder, but if you're gonna murder a bunch of murderers, I'm not necessarily opposed.
I feel like it would also support the Crookshanks being Harry's previous cat theory, because wouldn't it have been known? Like,
I feel like the cat they would have talked about it to some degree, at least jovially talking about how great they're like, all the fun shit they used to get up to. So it wouldn't surprise me if the cat was like, huh, all right, well, good to know. Don't eat that mouse specifically if I see it running around the house. And then he shows back up after his house gets blown up. Oh, it's on fucking sight.
oh,
Especially if
you're the reason why!
Especially if Scabbers is muttering, they're gonna know I killed the Potters. Oh shit, that's my folks! Dead!
It's on sight. You guys wondering why I was I love the fact that the boys think the cat is ugly, basically, and everything. He's just look like a furry pig and everything. And I was just sort of like, leave my bro alone.
Okay,
Harry.
here's my thing. The way she's describing Crookshanks is she's describing him like a Persian.
And they are fugly.
They are pretty ugly. Their faces are all squashed.
Give me a Maine Coon or a Norwegian Forest Cat. Any day.
Yes, every day.
They're gorgeous. I will take them.
They're so fluffy and they have normal cat faces.
And they don't have problems breathing or anything.
Because they have normal cat faces. See, Persians are like the pugs of the cat world.
They are. They are. Which, while we're in the magical menagerie or whatever, I love how this witch, what is she?
That's a cute cat.
It's drawn cute. But
the way that
it's
she
based on
described it
Persian.
with a squashed face.
Persians are fugly. Sorry to all you Persian lovers. Don't like them.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've always been more of a basic ass. I want a pure black cat. I know it's totally basic and everything, but that's where I go.
There's one that's pregnant outside my house right now. Feel free to
got
snatch one of its kittens.
I've got enough. And just because it's black doesn't mean its kittens are gonna be black.
One of them's gonna be black.
Okay, well, I wanted to talk about Where's the Witch? So, Ron's asking her for help. Ask him, or like, oh, here's my rat, blah, blah, blah. The witch immediately says, bang him on the counter. And I'm hoping that just means put him on the counter, because...
It's British slang. I'm sure
I'm
that's
really
what they
hoping
meant.
that's what that means. But, like, where is
I
it?
just grab him, good fistful around him and just bang his head on the counter a little bit and see if he's okay.
I love how she's like, well, if you don't want a replacement, bitch, you are as good as a vet tech in the wizarding world. There is no replacements.
Okay, she's not even a vet tech. She's literally a shop owner. Her goal is to sell you a new pet.
Anybody who works with animals knows that there is no replacement.
She's only there to... Look, she's like Petco at best. She's there to sell. Though I have to admit, when they're talking about the rats skipping rope with their tails, I'm like, damn, those are some long tails. I know that rats have long tails, but those must be extra long.
Yeah.
To be enough, unless they're, I guess unless the rats, no, they were just long tails.
Yeah, long tails. I love how this shopkeeper gets mad at the cat for pouncing on Scabbers, sells it to Hermione, and then Hermione leaves without any sort of carrier.
Yeah, that's
no
insane.
basket, no carrier, no leash and harness.
Yeah,
nothing.
This cat attacks everybody. Here you go. But it doesn't, because, Crookshanks is really good for Hermione.
To be perfect, to be honest though, over the course of the rest of
Wait a minute. But later in the book, Crookshanks is in a carrier. Where did she get the carrier from?
He's in a basket.
Don't get the movie. Let's not get the books and the movies mixed up.
No, I'm not confused. Because Ron tells her not to let that cat out.
Oh yeah.
But no, I think it was a basket.
It's a basket.
It's a lidded basket, and it might have been a cat carrier designed like a basket, but still,
it's
she's got
like
nothing.
the Wicked Witch in Wizard of Oz when she steals Toto.
I do like the fact that Ron, over the course of the story, is really given a lot of character fleshing out. He complains and he gripes and stuff. Harry's got his number at this point. It was just Ron's the type of person that's going to complain about his stuff, about it being cheap or old
but
and
it's
stuff.
His stuff.
And he loves his stuff. If Ron gets attached to you, you've got a friend for life.
Look, man, I can bitch about my family, but you're not allowed to bitch about my family.
Yep. I get to complain that my shit is old and raggedy and falling apart, but the minute you say it's old and raggedy and falling apart, fist of flying.
I mean, fair. But, yeah, the fact that, Hermione just sort of, fell in love with this cat and everything. I'm just sort of aww.
It's her soul cat.
To be fair, though,
with anything, though.
We do.
To be the thing that I think at the end of it, it is actually kind of nice that she got a cat, because that means the cat, all of the pets that were listed off have gotten some representation. Yeah. Harry's got his owl, Neville's got the toad, and Hermione has the cat. So we've got each of those technically knocked in. Honestly, I feel like Ron having the toad would probably have been a nice little triage, basically, for that brief period of time they would have had the actual, recommended ones. But obviously they're okay with you expanding the list, since the rat has not only been there since, Percy had him and everything. Ron also had him.
It was a little weird to me that,
why was Scabbers allowed
It makes me wonder if she had originally planned for this. It's one of those moments where it's did she plan for multiple books?
The world may never know.
To be honest, at this point, I wouldn't trust your word on it.
No, I know, but it's one of these moments, because it's he had the rat from the beginning. Was it, intentional? Was it always going to be this way? Kind of thing.
Who knows? I also, when we started talking about Crookshanks initially, I got a little curious. Or you mentioned Hermione had 10 galleons. So 10 galleons... First off, this is what, the 90s? How much do we think a cat is going to cost? In American dollars?
Usually it's a minimum of $50 at the shelter. $35 maybe.
Okay, they're free if you can find one out in the wild.
That tracks.
Okay, yeah, but we're at a store.
I have never really... I never remembered...
I get the feeling
shelter
Crookshanks
prices
was
from the 90s.
discounted.
Well, that's very possible. So 10 galleons is 49 pounds, which is $63.
So, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But that's we're talking shelter cats.
Yeah. Because also,
well, if it's a cat this cat's been there for a while, she can't get anybody to buy it, it's not friendly, they're going to do anything to get rid of it.
Yeah.
She's 10 galleons sold.
Yeah.
But
1 galleon
But it
sold.
also means that a cat is worth almost half the cost of a wand.
Yeah. my mind was hung up on current shelter prices for pets, which is like $150 to $200 depending on the shelter and what kind of animal you're getting. So I was like,
the
wow.
promotion. If they're fixed and everything, and they're not a kitten.
Yeah. I was like,
actually,
wow, you're getting this cat for $60 at most, and forgot, to deflate for the 90s.
Also, it's England, so like.
Yeah, they're pound per we're going with American cash, but like the pound has always had more purchasing power more often than not. So you know what I mean, like something's going to be cheaper in pounds than it's going to be in American dollars. Just like how in American dollars is usually go farther than Canadian loonies.
Yeah.
But then again, how could you take an economy very seriously if your frickin' coins are called loonies? I mean, seriously, the loonies up, the loonies down.
Well, for 2005 currently, according to Google, it says you can get a cat for about 50 to 150 pounds. So, yeah, we're about the right price ranges.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, she probably gave her the basket, some of the things she'd need for Crookshanks.
Very possible. I do know in England they aren't as hell-bent on spay and neuter as America is. I don't know why.
Kind of just, I'm pretty sure they're very lax about cats in England. They're like, a cat broke into your house? Cool.
Yeah,
the cat lives there.
Cats in general, people are like, it doesn't need to go to the vet. It does. It still does. But...
Yeah, I do have to admit that we get quite a bit of like character building with Ron and stuff, and then of course we get the rest of the Weasley family popping up and everything, and of course like Percy being an absolute prat.
Somebody needs to get that stick out of his ass.
I can't get over the fact he's like, Harry, good to meet you and everything.
Nice to see you again.
Oh my god. I would not, if Hogwarts had lockers, Percy would be getting shoved into them on a regular freaking basis.
Yep.
Like, you go to a school for wizards and stuff along those lines. The place is filled with freaking nerds. And you got the fucking wherewithal. God, Jesus, come on.
Like, come on, Percy. We know you got the prefect or the head boy badge, but that doesn't mean you need to put the stick in your ass.
Oh, man. I have to admit, though, like, what got me more than anything else is that Percy's picking on Ron, of all people. Like, Ron is the person who's going to go out of his way to steal your freaking badge. No, you've got prime suspect 1 and 2 living in your house for God knows how long.
Make fun of you all the time.
You cannot tell me that.
Like, come on, Percy. Rub your two brain cells together. Make them work.
With all of the OWLs and shit that you've gotten and everything, it is baffling to me that you have not figured out what the hell is going on. Oh, man. That would drive me up a wall something fierce.
Look, man. Percy's pretty pig-headed.
Yeah.
I mean, fair.
He assumes that because Ron is messy, that it's his fault the badge is missing.
I mean...
Okay, my kids are messy. Do you think I'm going to go immediately for them when one of my things go missing?
No, you have ADHD, so you know it's probably your fault.
Even before I knew I had ADHD, I was not going to go for my kids because they're messy.
I do love the fact that they so tease him over the course of this. Like, they go into the comments about, yeah, we're getting a little flag. Humongous big head.
Everyone snores except for Percy and Molly.
While we were listening to this, Mitch brought up the point, he's like, man, can't believe they'd hate him so much they try and lock him in a sarcophagus and get rid of him. And I'm like, you clearly don't have brothers then. I have 3 brothers.
I have 1 brother.
I would gladly shove them in a sarcophagus and walk away sometimes.
Listen, me and my brother just went through some shit. I'm sure at the height of that, if the thought had crossed my mind, I would have been like, yeah, that's a good thing. Let's do it.
I tolerate my brothers.
You let one live in your house.
Yeah.
A decision she clearly still regrets to this day.
No, I don't regret it. It's just like it'd be nice to have an empty house again.
You didn't have to say yes.
Look, he said no. My mom bullied him into doing it.
Yeah. You know, that should have been your first warning. The fact that your mom basically wanted to get rid of him that badly.
No, she also wants an empty house. She hasn't lived on her own. Well, ever. Because, I guess the 6 months she was still pregnant.
Hmm.
And then she got married and had more kids, and she hasn't lived on her own. So I get it. 63 years old and you've never lived on your own? Without any kids? I get it. Or however old my mom is. I don't remember. 65 maybe? Above 60, I know that.
Old enough that she should be an empty nester, but is not. Or was not up until, what, a few months ago?
For what?
Empty nester.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, I digress. Harry Potter.
But yeah, I do have to notice is that Harry is extremely observant. He picked up on the trait that frickin'
like that Arthur was hiding something?
yeah,
Was
when
nervous
he's
about
feeling
something?
pressured and stuff. When his ears went red, and a trait that he associates with Ron right there off the bat. And I'm like, that's impressive that you picked up on that so quickly, basically. It's just like, alright, something's up.
Although, Arthur Weasley's the real MVP, man. Because he's, like, telling Molly, like, no, he has a right to know. Like...
Because in Molly's mind, he is and always was a child.
That he should be protected. He shouldn't have to know somebody wants to kill him. And then Arthur's like, dude's already had people try to kill him.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Also, they should be like, we're in debt to Harry. He saved our daughter.
There's like so many little moments and everything where it's like, I understand as a parent where Molly's coming from, but as a as a dad and everything, I'm just sort of like, sweetheart, you're gonna have to just sort of let this one go. This kid's not going to be normal. They're not going to have an easy upbringing and everything, and you need to just sort of let that idea go.
I'm also I get it, Molly. Protect the kids as much as you can, but knowledge is power too.
Knowledge is power. If I know someone's coming to get me, I know I can avoid them.
Right.
These chuckleheads wandered off into the frickin' Forbidden Forest in their second year, basically, to try and solve a problem they should have let adults stick to. I think he's got the mark of he's got the mark of what's the word? He's got the mark of Harry and Ron. If you inform them what's going on and everything, you have a much better shot at keeping them alive.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to be careful when you know a murderer's out to get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're getting stalked and you're not aware of it, you're in a lot worse shape than the alternative.
Sure, knowing you're getting stalked is a little nerve-wracking. You're going to be a little more anxious than normal, but being anxious can save your life.
Yeah.
That's how they get you. The surprise attack.
But yeah, I do understand both parental expectations, but he's already gone, Harry has way too good of a point, though. I've dealt with so much, I've gone through so much already. The fact that everybody makes such a big deal out of it is wild, because I'm just sort of you guys do realize he's dealt with the most dangerous creature in freaking all of Wizarding Britain and everything.
I think it ultimately has to do with, just because they've gone through something doesn't mean they need to go through more, kind of thing, and I think that's Molly's point of view.
Which is a fair point of view and everything.
But also...
But when somebody's got to, at the end of the day and everything, Harry's made of sterner stuff, and I think in the next
he can
chapter,
handle knowing somebody wants to kill him.
To be honest, I'm kind of surprised that isn't just an automatic thought process. They know for a fact people got away that were actually Death Eaters that walked free.
Right.
The fact that matters is that Harry should be,
He should have a list of, hey, these people were accused of being Death Eaters, be careful around them.
Yeah.
They might try to come kill me.
Or, hey, these people were Death Eaters and we never found them, so, keep an eye out.
I feel like like considering how important he is and everything, to the point in future books they try to recruit him to be a spokesperson for the Ministry. It would be in the Ministry's best interest to have somebody keeping an eye on Harry, just to be safe.
Yeah.
Not because that boy needs to be important for the government in the future or anything, but the fact of the matter is that he killed somebody that was very powerful and very dangerous, and you might have to worry about this.
Yeah, that's something that never really made sense to me either, of like why Harry wasn't checked in with more by the Ministry.
Harry should be in witness protection.
Right.
Yeah, mothers love protection and all that other shit from
But even still, it's one of those things that, like, dude's a national hero, dude's a fucking rich wizard, he's an icon. The government would they should be trying to Captain America this shit, basically. Like, he should be, like, they should be, I hate to use this term, but they would want to groom him to be in favor of the Ministry by the time he's an adult.
Yeah, like, give him a favorable attitude over it versus all of the negative attitude that he's gotten so far.
Right. Literally, they've done nothing, like, in reality, the government would be all over that shit.
He should have his own Secret Service.
Right.
But yeah, they're going through this and everything. I do find it kind of amusing that he just sort of was like, I'm not going to be murdered. And that's the spirit from the freaking, like, mirror in the room and everything.
Thanks, mirror. I needed that.
I want a mirror that gives me confident remarks.
I don't care if they're sleepy. I'll take it.
That's the spirit, dearie. Keep your chin up.
Yeah. To be honest, though, Harry does feel like, Harry's so unbothered by this entire situation. It's kind of amusing in the grand scheme of things.
He says, meh, whatever. Shit happens.
I'm gonna go get the Harry Potter dessert stuff while I'm thinking about it.
Oh.
So are we doing it on this episode or? All right.
Did you guys record him in the episode?
We didn't. Did we record him in the episode? No. You're gonna get a special extra. Stay tuned. Do. This would be where any other YouTube channel goes. And now for a word from our sponsor.
Our sponsor is nobody. We have no sponsor. This is all unpaid for.
Yep.
We hope you enjoyed today's segment of unbiased opinions. Might be a little biased, I'm not really sure.
Alright, we had a brief pause spell and everything, but we got a hold of quite a few of the new Harry Potter flavor stuff. We got the Harry Potter butterbeer flavored goldfish, which I don't think I see any more of at the store right now.
Oh, I've seen those.
Oh. Last time I looked, I didn't see the cookies at the very least.
Alright. Which, there's technically, I think, just a graham cracker cookie dusted with butterscotch sugar.
Which, to be honest, I concur, but I do love the taste
They are
of
pretty
them.
good.
Mm-hmm.
I went through an entire bag of these things already, to be perfectly honest, and I've been eyeballing the rest of them.
You better save
We
some for
don't
me.
have the butterbeer skinny pop popcorn, though.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that one was another
Or the Pocky, which is a China exclusive.
How does that work? We got a British thing with a Chinese exclusive
Because it's
thing.
Pocky, it's Chinese. Now hold on, wait.
Japanese. It's Japanese.
Asian, sorry, my bad. We didn't talk about the fact that there's 3 shapes for the butterbeer
yes,
or
we get-
goldfish. You get a butterbeer barrel, a goldfish, and an owl.
It's Hedwig.
I'm not eating Hedwig. It's Malfoy's.
Pigwidgeon.
No, I'm not eating Pidgeotto either. He's a
It's
good
eagle
bird.
owl.
Yeah, Malfoy's eagle owl.
And we also have the butterbeer cream-filled Hershey Kisses.
Mm-hmm.
Which are also really good.
Which
They got the butterscotch flavoring as well and everything, but they are really good.
Ooh.
As much as I like to pick
They'd
on,
be so good frozen.
Ooh. The
Now, there's an
only
idea.
bad thing about the butterbeer kisses is that they're so sweet, is that you have to pace yourself.
Yeah, you can't just eat a bunch of them.
Which that's not entirely a bad thing.
cowards. I am the type of person that if I take a look and I see a giant cheesecake and everything, I will make it a personal cheesecake if I am not stopped. It does not matter how
Challenge.
sweet or rich something is. I will devour it because I've got one hell of a sweet tooth.
That's fair.
And then the last thing we have is the Keebler limited edition Harry Potter Fudge Stripes.
Which
We broke into. We were going to let Kimmy get into them, but because she's been sick and stuff along those lines, so we eventually got sick and tired of waiting and broke into
we
these
want to
already.
try these.
We want them now, damn
they
it.
smell good.
They're really good.
Obviously, butterscotch flavor as well, but they kind of they're basically the chocolate like
I
striped
think it's a
ones and
white
stuff.
chocolate or like a butterscotch cream that they're drizzled in and dipped in. And in my opinion, these are, I was looking, I didn't see it. These are the most dangerous because these are addicting.
Honestly, if they took away the Harry Potter branding
These
and
are my
everything,
favorite.
they could probably just get away with making these a permanent structure. But then again,
Just give me butterscotch fudge rounds. You don't have to call them butterbeer Harry Potter. Just call them butterscotch. Make them a staple. I will buy stock in these.
please put these back in the bag and get them away from me because I will
Yeah.
continue to eat
No,
them.
not a second one.
Buy your own bag.
What if I could?
They're gone.
I will be honest.
Like, not gonna lie.
Also, they have different shapes in them.
Mm.
Do they?
This one has a lightning bolt. Other ones have a butterbeer.
Holy shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, this one says butterbeer. And it's got a butterbeer glass.
This one says butterbeer, but has the Harry Potter's lightning bolt.
They went above and beyond on the
This
design.
one has the butterbeer glass and the foils. Oh, look at the center of that one. It's a
Oh.
lightning
Yeah, that's what I said.
butterbeer. Well, I've had 3 of them with different
I just
types of
didn't show
butterbeer.
you. These are really good. But that's about all we got for you guys this week.
Well, hold on. We had a couple of casting things for the TV show, actually. Apparently, get official...
I feel like we should have just done this in a separate post so we could have
I mean-
anyone.
To be perfectly honest, I figure we'd drop through and stuff along those lines. Both Dumbledore and Snape have actually been cast and
Oh,
stuff along
Dumbledore
those lines.
was cast?
He was cast first. John Lithgow, he's an American, surprisingly, so they officially have broken the seal on it being a requirement to be a British actor to be in
Wait,
the
that's
TV
John
show.
Lithgow? Where do I know him from?
It wouldn't surprise me if you've actually, but yeah, he, if I recall correctly and everything, he's officially in there. And, of course, I can't pronounce the gentleman's name. Papa Moyo or whatever has also officially been brought in as the actual Severus Snape and everything.
Which has gotten so much backlash.
Yeah, the internet's pretty up in arms about that whole thing, and I've already said my piece on it when it originally got brought back up. But
He's
if he's
too
official,
attractive to be Snape.
if he officially takes if he's officially in and everything, I wish him the best of luck with the role. From what I've heard, he's actually a really good actor and everything. So if he can do it to the best of his ability, he does a good job. I'm not going to complain. I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to see it and everything, and it's whatever. I personally would not
agree with you though that it's going to turn into it's going to come off more racist when he is, especially some people have mentioned that Harry immediately disliking the black guy
Yeah.
so comes off very bad. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're right, that does.
Yeah, but hey, if the guy wanted the job, he took the job, and I wish the best. I've had problems.
They confirmed McGonagall too.
Really? When?
we have-
According to this article, it is that it's claimed it should be, but that Janet Mateer is, I don't know who that is. Oh,
That
she was
is-
in Ozark, Jessica Jones, and Chaos.
Who
Oh,
was she in Jessica Jones?
Maybe.
the lawyer lady, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, fair enough. I'm still gonna give it a shot. I still would love to at least put in on occasion. We'll watch an episode, or I'll bring it up if I've watched an episode. If we don't all want to get together
That's fair.
or do them together and everything, I'll try not to spoil anything too serious. But at the end of the day, it's whatever. If that's the way they want to go, that's the way they're going to go. And my opinion is just a countless other. But I don't blame the guy. I'm not going to give him shit. I'm not going to give him any hate or anything. I'm going to judge him based off of the actual performance he gives.
And
Because
none of it is hate against him. It's hate against the directors of anything.
I'm glad we've gotten past that as a culture, at the very least, and in terms of a general sense. I'm sure there's some people out there that are racist as hell about this whole thing. But I do know for a fact that a lot of the people that get cast in, like, the Star Wars movies have gotten a lot of crap. The gentleman who played Jar Jar Binks got death threats and almost basically committed suicide on a couple of occasions before his resurgence in the Mandalorian series. The guy who played young Anakin Skywalker ended up checking...
A lot of shit. Like, he's a kid.
Yeah, well, he also was hanging out with kids. That gave him a lot of shit.
To be fair, the guy who played older Anakin also got a lot of shit.
I do believe that when Obi-Wan Kenobi came out, a lot of the actors who played in the prequels were very shocked to see the amount of people that were celebrating their return.
Yeah, he got, like, everyone was, like, he had this big comeback of, like, people, like, being supportive and stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't do a bad job.
And I think the actress who played Rose Tico also got a lot of hate as well online. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm a very critical person when it comes to Star Wars. I do not like the Disney sequel trilogy or anything along those lines. But I would never give the actress Rose Tico a death threat, and I would never complain about her.
It's
I'm like,
kind of like people...
you are not the person who wrote this. You are not the person directing this.
You're also not the character.
Yeah. You know,
kind of like how people also, like, for Game of Thrones, people hated the actress for Cersei Lannister and for Joffrey.
They did their roles amazing.
Like, they did their roles amazing. But you need to separate... People forget to separate...
Fact from fiction.
Yeah. It's like, there's the actor, and then there's the character.
I had the same problem with... Like, I'm glad the actress who played Dolores Umbridge didn't get too much shit.
Yeah.
Even though
Right,
she's one of the most
Umbridge.
hated fictional characters of all time.
Which is a whole... strange, considering how we've acted to every other fictional character people hate.
Yeah. Anyway, those are all the major updates. I think I already touched on the fact that they're potentially in the works for a sequel to Harry Potter Legacy, but I just respoke it, and that's the only thing we know. There really isn't any new information outside of that from what I've heard. But to be considering honest, I'm not surprised. It was a massive hit and everything, in spite of the fact that people were protesting it. Justifiably so. I got my copy used. It was already purchased and stuff by somebody else, so that means GameStop is the only person profiting off of my purchase.
Unfortunately, we are supporting the profit with the cookies and stuff, but...
Yeah.
It's snacks, man.
We got ADHD. We
Also,
snack.
I'm a slut for butterscotch.
Same.
I'll keep that in mind.
When I was a kid, my favorite shake from Dairy Queen, butterscotch.
Butterscotch and caramel.
I always preferred cookie dough, to be honest.
Cookie dough shakes seem a little weird, but okay.
Ice cream in general, but you get the idea.
I get the idea.
All right.
Butterscotch on syrup on top of cookie dough ice cream.
That sounds pretty good, actually. Anyway, I think we can wrap things up here. Sorry for missing a week, basically, but life gets in the way and everything. Kimmy is on...
Luna's Creation Corner on most social media.
You can find me on YouTube at Brandywine Stitches, or the rest of the socials at Hockeytown Candle Co.
Cole Sanders, I'm on Twitch and everything, and I do gaming Mondays and Wednesdays, and I do pick up other days on occasion, thanks to some friends being okay with me streaming with them in the background. Currently started Persona 3 Reloaded and everything. I've only gotten, like, maybe a little ways into it and everything. Not too far, so, like, I haven't really started any of the dungeon crawling or anything, so if anybody's interested in a very story-rich JRPG and everything, feel free to drop by and say hi. Anyway,
until then, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
And until next week, keep your wants at the ready.